Hey everybody, it's Alex at Gamer Reaction, and I wanted to give you my final thoughts on L.A. Noire. Now, if you're unfamiliar with the game, Diana has done her first impressions of the game, and you can check out that video here to see what she thought after beginning the game. I'm now going to give you my impressions after having beaten the game. Now, with that in mind, I'm at 70% completion, 70% total completion, and by that I mean I finished all 21 of the main storyline cases, but there are other things, you know, like unlockables and discovering things, and there's also these dispatch calls when you're driving around in your squad car. You'll hear someone, you know, hop on the horn and say, yeah, we got some bullshit going down on the corner of Hollywood and Vine. Does anybody want to come deal with this crap? And then you can respond to the call and go over there, and you'll have a little mini-mission type of thing, like a side quest. Well, there's 40 of those, and I've only done 8 of them. I'm also going to go back and redo my cases, redo a lot of these cases that I didn't get 5 stars on, of which there are plenty, because I kind of suck. Anyway, so when I say I'm done, I mean I'm done with the main storyline, and I've done some of the other stuff. I played the game on the PS3, and I believe the PS3 and the Xbox versions are exactly the same, so it really shouldn't matter which system you got it for. At the time of this recording, I put 21 hours into the game, 70% done, still got about probably 10 hours of free roam to do, to platinum everything. Anyway, okay, let's get into it. So, first off, I'm going to start with some positives, some things that I really enjoyed. One is the graphics. It's very realistic, and I love that. They used a great technology that I can't think of right now, but it involves 30-some video cameras recording the actors' faces and getting down all these little facial tics and intricacies that work really, really well and are crucial to the gameplay for times like interrogation, where you need to see if you believe the person or if they're lying or whatever. Now, some people have a problem with Uncanny Valley. People looking way too realistic to the point where it's creepy. So if you played Heavy Rain and you thought that was too realistic, or you've seen some of this other stuff and you just don't like the realism, don't play the game, because it's just going to freak you the fuck out, and you'll sit there going, grr, it looks so real, I want to touch it, but I can't, so I'm scared, or whatever. So, if Uncanny Valley freaks you out, don't bother. If it doesn't, this game has wonderful graphics. And it's not just the people that are realistic. The entire city, I believe, is Rockstar said something like 90% photorealistic 1947 L.A. That's pretty impressive. Like, down to signage and storefronts and stuff. That's pretty awesome, I think. So, way to go. The soundtrack is fantastic. There are 2 things. The radio, when you're in the car, is great, because what I found out after watching the credits is that I'm not positive if it's all of it, but a good portion of the stuff that you'll find on the radio is comprised of popular songs from that time, and also the radio shows that you hear, any sort of news or talk radio or whatever, is an actual recording from 1947. So I thought that was really neat to have that level of authenticity. Also, the soundtrack, the original score to the game, is really good. They do a fantastic job of immersing you in the feeling of a noir film. You know, it feels like you're playing a 47 detective crime drama. They have great use of jazz, horns, piano, violin, strings, stuff that really helps set the tone. And if you've ever seen a noir film, like an old black and white noir film, or even the movie L.A. Confidential, which this is a lot like, you know what I'm talking about. You hear those sounds, you think, oh yes, this is, well, hell, even like Who Framed Roger Rabbit is, I think, 1947 Hollywood, and a lot of the music that they have in that, when it's not like in Toontown, is very noirish film.
So, Phillips, I understand you want to turn this into a big case, but it doesn't work like that, all right? A case will come and find you. can't make it something it ain't. Understand?
So you don't think the werewolf has continued to operate in the Los Angeles area?
No chance. We would have found him.
Interrogation and dialogue. Those two things, I think, were fantastic. I really enjoyed everyone's voice acting. I thought everybody did a very convincing job. But the interrogation is really neat. It's my favorite aspect of the game, and if you're unfamiliar, it's exactly what it sounds like. You interview people, you interrogate people, and you talk to them, and then you have to decide based on their tone of voice, facial tics, little movements, if fidgeties or whatever, whether they're telling the truth, you doubt them, or they're straight up lying. And based on those things, you will progress and get better clues, new lines of questions, and stuff like that. And it's up to you to figure it out. And I realized fairly early on that people are really freaking good liars sometimes. There's certain characters in this game that it's near impossible to tell if they're lying. And yet, here they are, sitting there lying to your face. Good liars. Not everyone. Some people are like, I have an alibi. I was busy that night. I'm not lying.
You know anything about that, Morgan? Hell no. I'm sorry to hear that. I like Adrian. He's a good boss.
Please, don't tell me you actually believe this jerk-off, Phelps.
But, there are other people that'll just... and you can't really tell. Anyway, so that was really cool. I'm a really shitty detective. Like, really shitty. It's embarrassing. If you're ever in trouble and you need a case solved, don't call me, because I will just fuck it up. As far as fighting mechanics, the fisticuffs is fine. There's nothing special about it. Push a button to dodge, push a button to punch. You can grab people and headbutt them and stuff. But it's not intricate or anything. But it works fine. I wouldn't want it to be more complicated than it is. The gunfighting, the firefighting is all fine. It's not the focus of the game, so it works, and it's not robust. You can't carry around multiple weapons. You can only have one at a time, and that's about it. They serve their purpose. The driving mechanics are great. There's 95 cars to unlock in the game, and that's cool. Once you get behind the wheel of one, you've unlocked it, and then it'll show up in your car gallery on the extras menu, in the main menu, and that's kind of neat. You can cycle through all the cars that you've unlocked. But the car mechanics were swell. It felt like they were pretty authentic in that they don't stop on a dime and make crazy sharp turns and stuff. It felt like they kind of drive like a car of that time might drive. They're not like rocket cars or anything. But at the same time, it's fun. It's responsive, and I had no problems. I enjoyed the chase sequences. So a few things that I didn't like, and they're nitpicky things. They're relatively small things, so don't worry. This game is still fucking tops in my book. One is that on the map, when you bring up your map, it's a great map. It's black and white. The things that you need, like your destination, are highlighted in yellow, so it really stands out. But the little thing that bothers me is that your icon, where you are on the map, is white on a black and white background, and so it's kind of hard to find. If you move your cursor and you're scooting around the map looking for something, and then you're like, okay, well now wait, where am I again in relation to this? There's no button to center on where you are. You just have to look for that little white arrow on a white background, and I thought that was kind of balls. There's a great mode called Streets of L.A., and it's a free roam mode, so you don't have to worry about any story missions getting in the way. You can just drive around LA and look at landmarks and unlock those, and then do those dispatch calls that I mentioned earlier. Excuse me. And that's great, and it's fun. And you get to explore the city without really having to worry about being anywhere at any particular moment. However, in that time, when you're doing these dispatch calls, sometimes they repeat. So if someone calls and says, oh yeah, there's a 211 at, Butthole Lane or whatever, and you go and you do that, and you have your little altercation, and then you move on and go do other stuff, save the game, quit, and then come back later. when you're in that area again, you may get that same freaking call. And unless you memorize addresses, you won't. There's no indication that you've already completed that. So you may end up wasting your time going over there, responding to a call, and realizing, oh well, shit, I've already done this one. I don't want to do it. That kind of bothered me when I'm going for full completion. I don't want to sit there and constantly be repeating dispatch calls that I've already done. I thought that was kind of whack. I wish there was like, when you're done with a dispatch call, it just gets wiped from the game unless you go pull the, reset all dispatch call things lever, and then they'll all come back or something. I don't know. All in all, I really enjoyed the game. I've still got a bunch of stuff to unlock. Now that I've completed it, I'm going to go back, do the free roam, unlock all that stuff, get my platinum trophy, moha, and then start busting out that DLC. If you haven't watched Diana's first impressions video, I encourage you to do that. It's right there. Thanks for watching the video, guys. I'm Alex at Gamer Reaction, and we'll see you next time.